Welcome back to the Rugby Connection. This week it is Super Saturday. What a Six Nations it has been. We start off strong in Cardiff, where finally, boys, the drought has ended. Italy finally getting the big massive win in Cardiff. We'll talk about it more very shortly. We go over to Dublin, where Ireland were champions for a brief period in time, but they did walk away with the Triple Crown, absolutely decimating Scotland at the Aviva. And then we move over to Paris, where we got the Grand Chelem, the Grand Slam. France have done it. 12 years in the making. Blah, blah, blah. What an effort. So, yeah, Cardiff. What an upset.
Oh, my God.
I mean, the best way to do it, I mean, he is the talk of the rugby world. I mean, it's this. Capuozzo! 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 Capuozzo!
Country just says it all, to be honest.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I feel like it's one of those matches where, like, you're going to remember where you were when you saw it. Which, to be honest, for most of us, is just going to be on our sofas. But
I was in a town hall for a 2 years birthday party.
But, you know, I was in a shopping centre. I just had it on an iPhone, like down at my table.
Yeah, I did that. I was genuinely just speaking to a family friend. And I was like, I'm just going to check the rugby, and I just put it on, and I literally just seen Garbisi sort it and.
Oh God, because we were at the shopping centre for most of it, and then we finished up, and I was like, right, I'm driving home. And, you know, we basically just pegged it. We got back for the last 10 minutes, and my dad was just like, after the Josh Adams try, he just said, you know, listen, you know, they'll do it in like the 78th minute or something like that. And true to his word, they did it.
Some effort. I mean, if that's how you're going to win a game of rugby, that's how you win a game of rugby.
Well, I also want to say, like, back to our predictions as well. Last week, me and Murray, we said it was going to be a Wales win.
We did, but we wanted Italy to do it.
We wanted Italy to do it. Sean was optimistic.
But Sean went optimistic twice and one backfired, so it's fine. It balances itself out.
So last week on the podcast, I said Italy were going to win, and then for Carwin's thing that he was doing amongst us, he was saying, oh yeah, we're doing like predictions every week, and I predicted my score was 23-22 to Italy. I was off by 2 points, so
I predicted Italy were going to win on Carwin's thing, or it was by 2 points, or lose by 2 points, or something like that. It was not. There was nothing in it.
Pretty close, yeah.
But
no, I think we also mentioned back to last week. I do actually get a beer off my music teacher.
Oh, yeah.
That bad. Way, it's not all bad. And also, I was re-listening to the podcast. Round one review. After Ireland decimated Wales, our dear friend Simeon going, listen, Wales are going to lose to Italy. And you know what? He got it right. Like, fair play to him. He was absolutely distraught, but he got it right. I think that's the only thing here.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, just how good were Italy though? Like Paolo Garbisi, the man of the hour, Angie Capuzzo, Monty Ioane, just tearing it up on the wing. And I will give credit where credit's due. Josh Adams at the end of the game. What a lovely gesture.
It was a lovely gesture, and I think what we saw on telly in terms of like the interviews and stuff like that, I don't think it showed like the proper. I don't think it showed the full story. I think, you know, the Dan Bigger and Wayne Peaback interviews, it was all just like, you know, this is just poor. We need to come back. We need to do this, and you know, I get that it's depressing, but
I've got an issue with that. That's not just the Wales thing. I don't get this, and just in sport. Why at full time do you interview the losing captain and the losing coach, and the first question goes, "What happened?" You got beat. Like, it's such a stupid time and place to do it.
I mean, listen, people want to know, so fair enough. This is what the news reporters will do. But I just think at the end of the day, like, just give credit where credit's due. Like,
Yeah.
just say Italy beat us fair and square. Don't just be like, oh, we were so poor. Just Italy played. They've played amazing throughout the tournament, and they've been unlucky not to get a couple more points. I honestly think if the game didn't slip away from them, there could have been a losing bonus point in France, and maybe a losing bonus point against Scotland as well.
Yeah, I think if the red card they didn't go 2 men short, they could have gave up. I mean, they still gave Ireland a bloody good goal for most part. It was just the man advantage killed them.
But this is what I mean. Like, Italy have played well, and we've seen this. 2020 I think was like the first good showing of it, and then 2021 was just a whole nother level.
Yeah, but Kieran Crawley definitely knows what he's doing. I mean, definitely the right man for the job, and just well done, Italy. We're all big Italy fans this week.
Yep.
The shirt on. It barely fits me anymore because I have this in test fit from when I was like 14, but obviously I've got a little bit bigger since then. So
A bit.
just a little bit.
I was just going to say, it didn't sound like either of us got to watch the match live, but you might have seen the clip. I actually only saw it a couple hours ago. On 55 minutes, Wales kicked the ball deep into Italy's in-goal area. Capuzzo covers back. I think Montiani runs into him in the in-goal. He gets the ball. He spins out at one tackle, beats the first one. Another Wales defender rushes up while he's in the in-goal, gets the offload away to, was it Ioane? I think they made a break all the way up to the Wales 22, and then they won a penalty after a kick. It was just, it was unreal. It was just like a piece. I didn't get to see it, but it was like electric piece of play from Capuzzo in the in-goal, like class.
I think I did say that actually as soon as I came back. Yeah.
Oh yeah, unreal.
I think that it's just a little bit of. I think it's just a little bit of show about of how good Italy were and how good Italy can play. And again, we've seen this coming. It's finally happened. Next year, there's only one way. It's up.
Exactly. To win, Italy to win next year.
Italy for the Grand Slam. I'm putting a tenner on it.
You'd make stupid money off that.
Oh, you know what? It's all worth it. Anyway, how about a game that you were at, Sean? Ireland, Scotland.
It was. I don't want to say that it was like a good game by the standard of games, because it wasn't like, in terms of showing from both sides, I thought it wasn't like completely pristine, and the atmosphere being there was a bit kind of subdued a little bit. And look, I think that was kind of just the occasion. I mean, there wasn't too much to play for really for both sides. Well, I mean, look, there was the Triple Crown on the line for Ireland, but I think I don't mean any disrespect when I say this, Murray, but there was no one in Ireland that really thought at all throughout the week, not that I heard of anyway, that Ireland were going to lose. And I think the kind of atmosphere, I don't mean that, I'm sorry, but the atmosphere.
I can just see that in his face. It's just like.
No, I've been arguing with Scotland people all week, so it's been a shit week trying to back Scotland. Not on the pitch, but the whole antics. I'm sure you boys heard. Finn Russell piss up part 2.
Oh my God! Yes.
I'm fed up of this now. I get it's funny because it's Finn, but Finn Russell, Ali Price, who got his 50th, Stuart Hogg, who's the captain, Sione Tuipulotu, Sam Johnson, and Darcy Graham, all came off the fight so they came straight back to Edinburgh after the win in Italy. I think what I heard was they wanted drinks in Italy. They were late in arriving, so they got drinks on the plane, and then they wanted to go out. The team manager told them, don't do it. We've got a big game next week. Go nuts after the Ireland game, basically. But just don't do it this week. And the 6 that I've mentioned, they went, yeah, nah, fuck it, we'll go for it. Gregor Townsend found out, phoned Stuart Hogg, and basically, like, get your arse back to camp. You have half an hour or you're dropped. Hoggy, obviously being the club captain, squad captain, went, yeah, okay, and went back. Finn Russell, being Finn Russell, went, nah, I'm good. Went out to Why Not in Edinburgh. Didn't turn up to the Sunday session, like the recovery session in the camp. Stayed at his parents, like he did the previous time. and was subsequently dropped for the Ireland clash. It doesn't sit well.
And you know what? It didn't even make a good super sub on fantasy, so that's the most disappointing thing.
Exactly. Waste of time. But the last time this all happened with Finn and Gregor, it was build up to Ireland as well. Sorry, if you don't want to play against Ireland, don't do it. Go down, have an injury, have COVID. That's a good excuse not to play right now. You can't fake it. You can't double check.
Oh Lord.
It's gotta look like they kind of needed Finn Russell, especially at halftime. I thought it would have been a good time to bring him on, but obviously things weren't sitting right between Gregor Townsend and Finn Russell. And even when he came on, he didn't do a lot. So
one last thing I want to say on it.
I can't lie. I was watching the game on my sofa and I was shattered. I was ready to fall asleep during it. Like, I think again, like you said, it wasn't the best showing from both sides. Like, there was a chance at the Six Nations and the Triple Crown on the line for Ireland. Scotland were pretty much headed for fourth.
Third if I won, but it's a big task. I know I said I was more worried of Cardiff. And I was, at the time, I was more worried for Cardiff, and I don't know why. Because Ireland, I keep forgetting how much of a different beast Ireland has been in this last 6 months. Hold on.
But no, I mean, this is what I'm talking about. Ireland, Scotland, like, it wasn't a Six Nations. You wouldn't put it, but you wouldn't replay it. You wouldn't sit down and think, "Oh, that was a great match. I'm going to rewatch it."
No,
yeah.
So I don't think there's too much to say there, really. But
it's a pity it wasn't, because like two teams who, like, I think Ireland's attack has been pretty good this year. Scotland's attack, we know, is pretty good. I said it last week. Scotland's attack is very good, and the conditions were unreal. Like, obviously the weather was class, the pitch was perfect. And it's a pity it just kind of didn't live up. Like, it wasn't a very expansive style from either side. Like, obviously the tries Ireland scored, a lot of them were kind of like pick and goes. Same with Scotland, Schumann's try. Like, and actually, sorry, on Schumann as well. I don't know. You'd see when he was carrying the ball and he went with it with the forearm. I thought
it was 100% like yellow card at least.
I thought it was a yellow. Nothing.
That was right. I just thought it was right. Just because
I mean, what's it like?
Got done for it against France. So
yeah. Interesting one, all right.
I mean, if we're trying to replace ref talk, like, listen, he's carrying the ball, right, and you can see him. He's putting his arms away from his body into his neck area. Again, for me, I'd say that's more sort of careless than reckless. So that's why I'm kind of edging more towards yellow card. But I think either way, it can be touch and go either way you look at it. Some people have different interpretations. For me, it would have been a yellow, but I understand.
I think the way he got away with it is because when you looked at it, he had both his hands on the ball. I'm like, that's clever.
But he kind of led with the one that he didn't really.
Oh yeah, 100%. Just one more point I'd like to ask you boys, because obviously it doesn't affect yous. Is, do you drop Stuart Hogg as captain? Not from the team. Do you just strip him of captaincy?
Yeah, he's overrated. No, I don't know, but like, for me, I don't know who else I'd have as captain in Scotland anyway. I don't think it's an experienced enough squad to.
I would have Jamie Ritchie. As soon as he's back from injury, I think he's going to be the long-term captain.
I'd say at least give him 2-3 more years.
3 more years?
Maybe 2. You know what I mean? Like, again, Hoggy's got. He is, I'd say, perfect right now for captain. Well, probably the best that you've got anyway.
I think it's hard to keep him as captain after that whole incident this week. It doesn't look great.
At the end of the day, like you said that, being the squad captain, he came back and he sort of righted his wrongs.
Yeah, but should he have done it in the first place?
Oh no! But like, it's every player's responsibility not to do it in the first place.
The thing is, all players are human.
we all love a drink, and we move on to Paris.
We do.
Anyway, I have no words. I think, like, for me, obviously, I think I watched France play the most in this match only because, again, it was an England match. I watched it. France are incredible. They have been incredible all tournament. I don't think there's really been one point, maybe apart from the Wales match, that I'd say that France have looked in any way flawed.
No.
As much as I am awful in real life when it comes to defence, one thing I did pick up was their passing at the breakdown was incredible. In the first half, they had 5 turnovers to our 1. Yeah. And you could just see how quick Aldrit was at the breakdown. And that for me, like, if you can pass in the breakdown that quick, if you can get to the breakdown that quick, and you can turn over the ball for your side, 100%, get possession of the ball and then play with it. That is like that is what I think the number one focus of defence should be, getting the ball back.
No, obviously they had that hiccup last week with Wales, but we said that you need a nitty-gritty win to proper go for it. And I know the scoreboard wasn't a thumping. France were dominant.
It felt like a thumping. It felt like a thumping. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it felt to me as if France were just unlucky, incredibly unlucky.
Yeah.
Because they should have got more points on the board. 100%. We should have allowed more tries. I think we did well enough to really just stop them from scoring more. I think that's the only real positive I can take.
I mean, there's one name that I really want to mention to you, Harv, just because it was so funny with your Snapchats, is George Furbank.
No. George Furbank. Listen, I don't know why he was selected in the first place. Don't know why he played. The only real highlight of him was him volleying the ball for absolutely no reason twice. His defence is poor. Listen, I know that as a team we didn't play amazingly well, and I shouldn't just be blaming it on one person, but it's a pointless decision. I'm probably more angry at Eddie than I am at George. Just what have we done?
I mean, Eddie did say that was your best team to go against France. It's not, was it?
It really just wasn't. Like, did you not see, some of our other matches, right? The win against Wales. I'd say that's debatably one of our best squads.
I would even say the squad you put up against us was pretty.
Maybe even Ireland.
Yeah. Pretty much full goal.
I'd say those squads are.
Yeah.
The one thing just stood out to me was Stewart at the wing. He's not the fastest bloke, and he's been one of the best under the high ball. What are you doing playing him as 14?
I thought he did all right. I thought it worked as a good tactic, though.
No, he did all right, 100%. But would he have been more suited to the 15 shirt? 100%.
Yeah, good point. Yeah,
so I just
pull back. So
I guess I just want to ask you guys one question. Eddie Jones, in or out?
In.
Is that from an Ireland fan perspective?
No, that's from an actual whole like World Cup for England, as in yeah, obviously it wasn't a good campaign, but he's on course. He's still on course.
Well, I think Murray, in or out?
Overall, I'd say out, because Eddie came in and made it look piss easy for England. Like Grand Slam Six Nations, almost matching the All Blacks, unbeaten, calendar year record, and it's just plummeted. But
say
you're a year out from a World Cup, so for that, I'd say just keep him in the now. I don't see the point of changing the coach a year out.
I mentioned that in the preview episode. I mentioned that, we can't just say goodbye to Eddie Jones like now.
Yeah.
Wants to basically just adjust to a new coaching system. We're not going to have a chance to. Well, it's really just pointless for Eddie, to be honest. Since he's leaving at the end of 2023 anyway, might as well just endure maybe another year of pain. But I think, I don't know, for me, almost because he did so well at the start, he knew what he liked, and then the game just moved on.
Yeah, it's because he's a very stubborn coach. That's why I made the joke at the start, like, good luck when you've got Eddie Jones and Richard Cockrell on your coaching staff, because they're both very, very stubborn. They know what works, but refuse to adapt.
But I'm saying, you can't have the same squad winning daily because it's just moved on. You can't have the same squad with lads like, the next thing you know, he's going to be calling up James Haskell again. You know what I mean? He was so stuck with the same squad and didn't want to adjust. He's been forced to adjust this year and basically just didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah. So do you think Eddie Jones will stay in coaching after the England role, or do you think he'll just...
I know he's taking a sabbatical, so I'm not going to count that.
Okay, no, that's fair.
I think he'll take a smaller role. I don't think he'll go back internationally, but
just like an advisor or something to a national team.
Maybe even like a head coach of a club. I could be all wrong, and then he just decides, I'm going to coach the Lions in 2025. But
he's already said no to be fair, so
thank God. Anyway, so after Paris, obviously the Six Nations came to a beautiful, beautiful close with France winning their first Grand Slam in 12 years. And now, as we reflect on it, we're going to go back and maybe hand out some like unofficial awards from the Rugby Connection. We're not going to hand them like proper trophies, obviously, because we don't have the budget. We don't have any budget, actually. So we're just going to just say names and just clap them. Boys, nominations for player of the tournament.
Oh, DuPont.
I think to be honest, that was probably stupid.
Yeah.
Ones I could see that's done really well. I think Marcus Smith made it look pretty not easy, but obviously the whole thing was, oh no, there's no Farrell. How's Marcus Smith going to do without like such a figurehead next to him? Pretty well, all things considering.
Yeah, I think Marcus. I don't know. Maybe not player of the tournament, but I definitely say he was a big bright spot. I had Antoine Dupont, player of the tournament.
Yeah. Shall we do a team of the year? I just quickly run through.
Oh wow.
Like you roll off one half, Sean does one, and then I'll do one.
God, I'm gonna try and speed through this. Right, so I'm gonna go Genge, Marchand and Furlong as my front row. I'm probably gonna go Itoje and Woki as my not back row, second row. My back row is probably going to be Van der Flair, Jelonch and Aldrit. My two halves, DuPont and Smith. My two centres, probably, I'm going to say Donty and Fiku. Now, I think Donty did turn up in the last two games, but to be honest, I don't think there's any other 12s that have. I don't think any 12s have really made the most massive impact. I'd probably just say Donty was sound enough.
Yeah, fair.
And then my back three, I'm going to go with Gabon Villiers, Damien Penaud, and Freddie Stewart.
Fair, Sean.
Could you go, Murray? Would you mind? I'm actually still thinking.
You go? Yeah, that's fine.
So doing like a proper like database research.
I'm gonna go Genge, Marchand, and Furlong like Harv. I'm gonna go Itoje. I'm gonna go Willemse for this tournament. I think Woki has been special, but just this tournament alone, Willemse's kind of raised his game a little bit. Probably go Van der Fleer and move Jelonch across to the blind side with Gregory Aldrit. And number 8, DuPont and Smith at half backs. Centres, I'll go Nick Tompkins for Wales. I think when Wales seem to play better with him at 12, so we'll go him. We'll go Gael Fiku, obviously, at outside. Back three. Villiers. Yeah, go on then. Damien Pinot, as much as I don't, yeah, he is a different level. I don't really like him. And fullback, I'm gonna go Hugo Keenan, actually.
Oh, thank God. Oh, why did I think you were going to say Stuart Hogg?
No.
Oh, I had it in my head.
So the people that thought I was going to pick Stuart Hogg.
He's not biased.
I'm not biased.
Sean, have you masterminded up?
Yeah, well, somewhat. I'm very indecisive on two positions. Let's say I'll go Genge, hooker. I can't decide. Marchand between Ronan Kelleher and Dan Sheehan. Kelleher was, people forget because Sheehan was so good the last two games, but Kelleher had a very good start at the Six Nations. I can't decide between those three. Furlong, Itoje Waki. I'm going to go Lamaro in the back. I know he can't really play six, but I'm going to put him into six. Van der Fleer, Aldrit, Dupont Smith, Villiers in the left wing, Dante and Fiku in the centre. And then I was between Darcy Graham and Damien Penno on the right wing, and then Hugo Keenan at full back.
Oh, Darcy Graham over Penno. If that's your option, go for it.
Penno. No, I think you made a good you made a good idea there with Michele Lamaro. I think not only did he have an amazing showing as captain, but again played his heart out. He plays with passion.
Yeah,
like he is the epitome of Italian passion, like all in one.
Yeah.
I love him. I put him in my fantasy team for like the last game. So
yeah.
Any breakouts? Top three breakout players of this tournament?
I think for me it has to be Ange Cupboard. So, like, just obviously the Wales game was incredible. Just a grandstand finish, basically. But you know, he also had a really good game against Scotland, and you know, you think about it now, right? That could be Italy's backline basically sorted.
Yeah,
that could be the one. That could be the one they move forward with.
Anyone else that's shown?
For me, Mac Hansen was like he's up there. I don't know like exactly. I put Capuzzo as well. Obviously, I think Capuzzo for last game.
100%.
Yeah, I put Mac Hansen up there just for his performance against Wales and France alone. Yeah,
fair. I think for breakout, because he wasn't really going to be a starter, and then injury came and took his opportunity. I think Dan Sheehan is definitely up there as well. He's been fantastic. And I might be a little bit biased, but he has played well the 3 games. I am going to go Rory Darge. He took a duck to water, and let's be honest, it was a poor Scottish team against France. He didn't look out of place. When we played against Italy, it was almost like a father-son duo when he paired up with Hamish Watson, which was great to see. And from what I've seen against Ireland, he seemed to do all right. It's just the rest of it didn't work for him. So, yeah I think my top 3 is Capuzzo, Sheehan and Darge.
Fair, good list.
And I don't really like giving out this award, but one disappointing player from each of you lads, or at least one overrated player, and I'm not going to say Stuart Hogg this time because I know I might hurt Murray.
That's fine. I've had my arguments this week, mate. Go for it. I'll say most disappointing. I won't say most overrated.
All right.
Most disappointing. It's going to sound so strange. He's literally just won a Grand Slam. Melvin Germany. I just felt he was very.
Oh yes, Sean is. We had a whole thing with Sean earlier about this because I said he's basically like the French rugby idea of a special teams unit in American football, just catching and running and then kicking the ball.
That's all you have to do as a fullback. He's brilliant at it.
Yeah, but he's not got that little bit extra, you know. Someone like, I don't know, Freddie Stewart.
No, piss off.
You mean Stuart Hogg? You mean?
Yeah. But
Definitely not.
Stuart Hogg has got that little bit of when he runs. Anyway, he has got that. Jamini doesn't. Hugo Keenan does. Stuart does.
Just doesn't have hands.
No, I get what you're trying to say. I think you're right. He doesn't have that kind of like the speed or kind of the step, but I do think he's excellent. Like you said that, Harvey, that you said he was overrated, but I don't think he's overrated in the fact that his goal kicking usually is very good. It wasn't excellent yesterday. His kick from hand is excellent. Like the 50-22s he kicked.
I think, but again, I think at the end of the day, like we do, we focus so much on pizzazz from players, like we forget that some lads can just play like the textbook definition of some positions and just do it amazingly. And I think, fair enough, Melvin Jaminet is basically a textbok 15.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Yeah, that's all I needed to hear. That's now I can go to bed, sleep soundly now.
For me, I'm just gonna whip this one in here. Louis Summit.
Oh, yeah.
Painful. And we were bigging him up so much last Six Nations.
Yeah.
Well, not we, because we actually hadn't met. But I think a lot of us were bigging up last Six Nations and just, oh Lord, it was like watching a headless chicken.
I think I actually ended up saying the term "you're going to get bored hearing his name" last year. That's aged well.
I got awfully bored hearing his name.
But I mean, what was the best thing Louis Summit did this tournament? Get out muscled by Darcy Graham.
Get a cap.
Yeah. Anyway. And he got destroyed by Mac Hansen as well on Hansen's debut.
Yes. Yeah. The dream duo. That's what we're wanting.
No, exactly. Even
Mac Hansen and Darcy Graham on the wings. Woo!
Yeah. Exactly. But even on Mac Hansen's first international touch, remember he made a break down the touchline. Like Louis Rees-Zammit tried to tackle him. I know this is only one moment, but like I know not to say that I do any better, but he was like it wasn't a good tackle. He went like with his arms and he didn't even wrap and he just slipped through him. Hansen's not even that quick. And
it's because he knows it was Mac. He just wanted to cuddle Mac.
Yeah, he wanted to hug him. Yeah, I mean I don't blame him. So come on, I want to give Mac a big hug. So.
Anyway, the Six Nations is done. It's finished.
Oh, sorry, I didn't give a disappointing player. Sorry.
Oh, you didn't. Sorry, my bad. Go
on. As much as I want to say Stuart Hogg for literally just because of that a moment he had. Yes, he was right in front of me. He literally had a 3-on-1 overlap. No, but I'm not going to say Stuart Hogg because I actually did think he played pretty okay. In a pretty all right championship apart from that moment.
And the France thing.
Sorry, I don't want to give you as too much PTSD. Someone not just because he didn't play yesterday, didn't start, and when he did come on, he didn't do that great. I was a bit disappointed by Finn Russell. I didn't think he had that great of a chance. Did well against England. Didn't really see too much else other than that. So
Bob's not hungover, to be fair.
But anyway, that's it. That's the end of the Six Nations.
Yeah,
and thank God, because that was the most painful 7 weeks I've probably been through. Anyway, on now to the rest of the world of rugby, and yes. I will just obviously because it's again another Six Nations Championship has finished today. The under-20s and Ireland won the Grand Slam, so fair play to them.
And Scotland got the wooden spoon, way!
I mean, to be fair, Italy beat Wales again.
Yes!
The match.
They also did beat England, so anyway. But no. Anyway, so what has gone in the world of rugby from you lot?
Well, so you know how last week I mentioned the Super Rugby Alpiki tournament, the women's tournament, with the nice, beautiful Heritage Trophy. Yeah, it finished this week. There's only 4 teams in it, so there's only 3 rounds of fixtures.
What?
Yeah. So today, Chiefs Manawa beat the Blues women 35-0 to win the inaugural Super Rugby Alpiki tournament. So well done. They feature the likes of Ruby Tui and Portia Woodman on their side. So fair play.
Fair play to them.
And Glasgow beat Edinburgh. So it's not a good week for me. I'm not happy. I'm not doing well result-wise.
Speaking of not happy, obviously I mentioned the NRL last week. I do want to take a trip in rugby league to the other side of the world.
Oh,
Well, listen, as much as I love the Super League, the officiating has been poor. Wigan versus Castleford on Thursday night. Listen, I think it was Chris Kendall, the referee, gave a yellow card for the earliest late hit I've probably ever seen. It's no penalty, but gave a yellow card. That was shocking. And then gave a red card for a little slap on the face for a poor attempt of a tackle. So yeah, the RFL referees are in the bin.
fair enough. I mean, just looking at the results from the good league for rugby league in the NRL,
Yeah, great, cheers.
there's not been many very close games this week, if you've not seen the results, Harv. So Broncos beat Bulldogs 16-10.
Fair enough.
The Sharks beat the Parramatta Eels 18-16. Gold Coast Titans beat New Zealand Warriors 20 points to 18. The Roosters beat the Seagulls 26-12. The Knights beat the West Tigers 26-4. So there's a bit of a thumping for you.
Yeah.
And the Cowboys beat the Raiders 26-6.
I did watch that game. Yeah.
I do like the NRL. I'm not a Super League fan, but I can sit back and watch the NRL.
The Super League, it's for people with fine taste. So, anyway, obviously we talked last week about Spain qualifying for the World Cup.
Yeah.
And today was the conclusion of the Rugby Europe Championship.
The score.
Georgia versus Spain with a winner takes all clash. And Georgia won pretty convincingly. Fair enough. They've gone 25 games unbeaten in the Rugby Europe Championship. So, yeah, fair play to Georgia. What a win. And we'll see them in the World Cup next year.
Yeah.
They officially qualified, yeah?
Yeah, they qualified. I think they qualified as soon as Russia got disqualified. So,
okay. And do you know what pool they're going to be in?
I think it's Wales's.
Oh yeah.
Wales, Australia, and Fiji.
The same pool again.
The same pool as.
Are you kidding me? I'm sick of this. Wales, Australia, Fiji have been in the same pool for the past 3 bloody World Cups. And now Georgia again.
I mean, Sean, I love you to bits, but I'm getting fucking sick and tired of
And Uruguay. Oh wait, no, they're in England's one.
Oh, yeah, they are.
They're in the same pool as Australia, Wales, and Fiji in 2015, 2019. But all right, quick question. I'll put a quick debate up. Do you think that we need to rethink the pool systems to just stop a repeat of this?
Yeah.
It's just not enjoyable. It's just like...
I mean, what's it? Ireland have got Scotland again.
Yeah.
I know. I just said that. I'm fed up with that as well. It's not because no, but
I know why you're fed up.
No, but I know that you get I can see why it benefits because you played them in the February or the March just before the World Cup, so and they're similar opponents. But come on, you want the exotic once in a lifetime games. I'm more looking forward to Scotland Spain than I am Scotland Ireland.
Yeah, I mean, what's it? We've got Argentina again.
Oh yeah.
Vamos los Pumas.
We've got Argentina again.
We got Japan.
Odds on we'll have the USA again as well. Do we need to expand the World Cup?
How many? By how many?
We've got 20 teams. Add maybe 4 more.
Wait a minute. I'm gonna have a wee look and just see what the current pools are now, because I don't think I'm gonna like any of them for the most part.
Sean, have you got any headlines while Murray's having a little cheeky look?
Yeah. Will I go?
Yeah, go.
All right. One was, it's not really a massive headline, but I'm sure you might have seen the clip of Bismarck Duplessis with kind of tip tackle over the shoulder tackle on Munster's Alex Kendellen last week. He got a red card for it. He nearly landed on his neck. Luckily didn't, but he got a red card for that. It was a bit bizarre, but the kind of that tackle in itself was a bit of news. But Munster lost both their games down in South Africa on their trip to South Africa. They lost against the Bulls last week and against the Lions yesterday. So that's my bit. But kind of more, it's surprising. And I've seen a lot of outrage on Twitter from Munster fans, saying that it's a joke that the way the schedule worked, the Ireland squad, like why couldn't like Jeremy Lockman, who didn't play in the 23, why weren't they released for Munster? But that wasn't happening. Anyway, sorry, that's just my bit of news. Munster 2 lost on the bounce. Bismarck du Plessis with a shocking red card.
Anyway, World Cup pools.
World Cup pools. So Pool A is New Zealand, France, Italy, Uruguay, and Africa 1. So
All right.
France. So France.
That's a bit shaken. It's not too samey.
Yeah.
Pool B is South Africa, Ireland, Scotland, Asia Pacific 1, and Spain.
Well, enjoy your match against South Africa, lads. I really enjoyed mine.
I bet you did.
32. Anyway, Pool C.
Pool C is Wales, Australia, Fiji, Georgia, and the final qualifying winner.
The final qualifying winner. Odds on that'll be. Oh wait, no, it can't be Georgia.
Could be
It
Portugal.
can't be England. Could be Portugal. Are they in qualifying? Because I'm not sure if it was Romania or Portugal.
I'll have a look now, but in the Pool D, England, Japan, Argentina, Samoa, and America's 2.
All right. I'm not displeased with that group. I'm not displeased at all.
World Cup 2020. Is it final qualifier? Is it?
I think you just got to look at the Rugby Europe standings. Who came third?
Portugal. Then. Yeah, that's Portugal. Then.
It was Portugal. All right. So, my other country of residence has a chance of making it. So, vamos.
So they'll play in a tournament against Africa? A team from Africa, a team from USA, team from Oceania. They'll all fight it out, won't they?
Probably. Oh well, I hope they do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've not heard much information anyway. It literally just states the obvious of how a final works. So thanks, Google.
Anyway, boys, thanks for listening through our whole Six Nations review. It's been a long tournament for some, but we're at the end of it, and we go again next year.
Go again next week.
We go again next week. It's the women's.
It's the women's. We've got a special guest with us next week. We're almost going full circle at Rugby Connection here. And if you've listened to us for the whole time, you know what we're on about. That's all I'm saying.
But anyway, you'll find more about that. You'll find out more about that next week. But thank you guys for listening, watching our faces or our voices for the last 7 weeks. We know that we might have been a pain in some ways rather than not. But anyway, please subscribe if you aren't already, and click the notification bell, because of course you want to listen and see us more. So please do. Please follow the Spotify if you aren't already, because then you also get to see us a little bit more. Do go follow our socials, Rugby Connection Pod on TikTok and Rugby Connection Pod on Instagram. Also follow us individually on Instagram and TikTok if you haven't already. And yes, we will see you next week when we return to Club Rugby and the start of the Women's Six Nations. Goodbye.
See you later.